Hello everyone. Welcome to my second lesson entitled The Sargasso Sea. Our second lecture is divided into two main parts. The first part is entitled Recording Caribbean History, and the second part is entitled The Sargasso Sea, Antoinette's New Home, or in Benedict Anderson's words, Antoinette, Imagine Community. Jean Rhys' merit lies in combining both the historical narrative and the fictional narrative within the scope of Wide Sargasso Sea. She strives to provide us with plausible answers about the reasons behind the hybrid identity of the white Creole. And here we can understand that the ambivalent position of the white Creole among whites and blacks in the ethnically and racially diverse Caribbean community is due to historical events. Well, in 1492, Christopher Columbus discovered the New World, or what is now called the Americas. At that time, the Arawaks were the indigenous people. They were exterminated by the Spanish and replaced by Irish, Asian, and finally African Caribbeans. Historically, Africans, Europeans, and other groups entered into a pattern of forced association. This pattern encouraged cross-racial and cultural interactions, or what I introduced you to in our real class, miscegenation or intermixture. Here we go. We have the white Creole, the black Creole, Métis, and mulatto. So it is thanks to history that we have such hybrid identities. To better understand what happened, I included a quote by Derek Walker, a Caribbean poet, who asserts the following: "Break a vase, and the love that reassembles the fragments is stronger than the love which took its symmetry for granted when it was whole." Here, if we extend this to the Caribbean archipelago, it is a whole, but it is fragmented into different islands. Each island was colonized by a different imperial power, and each island welcomed different racial groups. So here, if we divide or if we break the Caribbean, we will find out that the dispersed islands are still connected to each other as a whole. Then Walker continues to say that the glue that fits the pieces is the sealing of its original shape. It is such a love that reassembles our African and Asiatic fragments. So here Derek Walker asserts and assumes that the Caribbeans are Africans, Asiatic, and different other groups. And then this gathering of broken pieces is the care and pain of the Antilles. It's true, history has a very huge impact on the Caribbeans, but they cherished all what happened in order to co-live together beyond the divide of race, ethnic, gender, and so on and so forth. Here, whether you agree or not, the majority in my class were divided among those who agree that history had a positive impact on the racial groups. The other part of the class disagreed, saying that this led to a chaotic life on the Caribbean. This is what we will discover when we assess Antoinette's response to this chaos, to this fruitful chaos, let's put it in this way. So, we agreed that the title is very catchy, okay? The majority of you asked, what is the Sargasso Sea, okay? And literally, the Sargasso Sea is denotative of the area of water between the Americas, Europe, and Africa. The Sargasso Sea is so different from any other place on Earth that it may well be considered a definite geographic region. And yeah, the Caribbean is so special, is so peculiar. And here, I decided to include a video for you. Okay, unfortunately, we didn't watch it in class, but I asked you to Google it on YouTube. Here it is. I will let you listen just to the first part so that you can come to terms with the diversity of the Sargasso Sea. Here we go. Okay, so this is what I want you to listen to understand that the Sargasso Sea is full of different weeds, different animals, and that if we extend this metaphor to what happened on the shores and on the real land of the Caribbean, we find out that the Caribbean is the site of different human beings, okay, and that the Sargasso Sea can be the area which can welcome different exiled human beings, okay, and this is what is rendered by Kudzinski, who says that the Sargasso Sea is a precarious community, i.e. the Caribbean is a novel, peculiar site, okay, it is full of exiled human beings. They were grafted on this area, and here we go, we have an ever-shifting community of migrants. Antoinette, as an exile, has been displaced, and here I asked you, how do you define belonging? Do you belong or do you unbelong? And if you belong, what are the variables that will attach you to that specific place? Okay, and if you don't belong, how will you feel? Okay, so, and we agree that when we don't belong, we feel homesick, we feel even confused and baffled. And this is what the white Creole in Jean Rhys White Sargasso Sea feels. She is baffled, she is confused, she cannot belong to this side and she cannot belong to this side. So this is dislocation, and this dislocation will drive Rhys' narrative, that Antoinette will use or will thrive on this dislocation to come to terms with the idea of belonging, of dislocation, and of displacement. And then we establish a comparison between Hyacinth in John Reilly's The Unbelonging and Antoinette. And we said that Antoinette sheds her otherness, her whiteness, and she performs her Caribbean identity so that she can feel empowered in her new homeland in the Sargasso Sea. Okay? And we agreed that both the Caribbean and the white Creole are children of many parents, of the Spanish, of the British, of the American, of the European, and of themselves as well. Okay? After that, we reached the point of rhizomatic versus root identity, and I ask you to think outside of the book and extend this thinking to other writers and other scholars who wrote about rhizomatic identity, which is floating in the air, and the root identity, which is deeply rooted in all what is nationalistic. The majority agreed that we have to cherish our root identity. A minority said no, a rhizomatic identity will offer me a lot of privileges. Only Muhammad al-Ghaibi said, let's make a reconciliation between the rhizomatic identity and the root identity. Okay, so in order to have a better understanding of this, I invite you to read Felix and Guattari's article about the rhizomatic identity. Okay, and I want you to localize passages where Antoinette talks about the Sargasso Sea for next time. That's all for today, guys. See you in our third lecture next time. Stay blessed.